Do you know what happens when a lowland gorilla stand-up comedian, a functioning alcoholic impressionist, and geeky tech nerd pro wrestler get together? You get the Conte and Kenny Show. And AIDS, probably.
Monday nights, the clock strikes 7. Conte and Kenny, humor's heaven. On 100 proof, YouTube's delight. Tune in, we promise it's pure delight. Laughing out loud, so mellow and bright. Conte and Kenny, comedy's bite. Every Monday, come and play. Join us for laughs, end your day. Eastern time, the fun begins. Jokes and stories will make you grin. A perfect blend, pure comedic art. Conte and Kenny, they steal your heart. So click and watch the chuckles flow. Conte and Kenny, friends in tow. Sip some laughs on 100 proof. Comedy magic under your roof. Laughing out loud, so mellow and bright. Conte and Kenny, comedy's bite. Every Monday, come and play. Join us for laughs, end your day. Eastern time, the fun begins. Jokes and stories will make you grin. A perfect blend, comedic art. Conte and Kenny, they steal your heart. So click and watch the chuckles flow. Conte and Kenny, friends in tow. Sip some laughs on 100 proof. Comedy magic under your roof. Remember the time, don't miss the show. With Conte and Kenny, the giggles glow. Find the channel, don't delay. 100 proof podcasting, your Monday ballet.
And don't forget me, Joey Image.
The vision is written. The power is reawakened. The fear is reborn. Because they have returned. Because they have returned.
All right. Welcome, everybody. It's the Conte and Kenny Show. Arrogance and alcoholism with a side of spandex. We're here every Monday night at 7 p.m. on the 100 Proof Podcasting YouTube channel. Check out all our past shows wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're listening live or you're just checking out the show on the YouTubes, give the episode a like. All right, it helps the channel out. It sends people to us and the channel. And if you're listening live, join the chat. Just go in, click on the chat, and be part of the show. And let's see. Let's see if he's here yet. Let's see. Gonna get this screen up. And he's not here yet. All right. If you were listening last week, of course, I am on the left, of course, is Joe Conte. In the middle is Kenny on some sort of stimulant with a white hat and gangster suit.
Stimulant is a good word to
Yes. And of course, up in the corner is Joey Image. And behind the glass is our producer, Shawnee, the millennial Gen Zer.
Is Sean's glass clear? Because we can never see him. But every week he says he's behind the glass. He says he's behind the glass, but is it clear? Because I never see him.
Is it misty? Do you have a misty glass, Shawnee? Do we get you misty? Do we make you misty? Us old guys, he calls us boomers, but none of us are boomers. But still, it's funny. That's why in emails, he'll call me like boss. And I'm like, I know he's doing it just to be a dick. Like, not because he thinks I'm his boss, because I'm not, but just because it's like, you know, old man, boss, boomer.
Right.
Fucking great.
Boomer boss.
Boss.
Yeah,
chief.
boomer boss. Yeah. B-boss. Exactly.
Chief is a good one, too. What's up, Chief?
Oh,
I used to say that one a lot. I used to use that one a lot.
Well, I knew a guy named Chief. Like his dude.
What was his last name? Like Sitting Bull?
Well, no. This is kind of funny. I actually
Chief Night Glower? Or was that a rank?
I started to use this. Oh, yes. our pal Erica. Happy birthday to Joe Eve. My birthday is tomorrow, April
Oh, I
Fool's
forgot
Day.
about that. I forgot. You're
Yeah,
April Fool.
yeah. Thank you, dear.
Well, happy birthday
And,
tomorrow.
Yes, we'll
Yeah.
talk about Erica, and we saw
I'll
her
give
yesterday.
you the best gift ever. I won't come over.
That would be the. Could you give that to me every day? Could you give me that gift every day?
I theoretically do. I mean, I basically
You do actually, yeah. Except for Monday nights, you theoretically.
One day I'm going to show up and
yeah.
I'm in your house now.
Yeah, exactly. But last week, if you guys remember, Kenny was having issues with his computer.
If they remember.
If they remember, I mean, he lost his mind because he got around 6:30 is when we sign on and we get, we talk a little bit, bullshit a little, and get to talk about what we want to do,
stuff like that. Right.
So he tried to get on at 6:25, and he finally got on at like 10 after 8, and he lost his mind, and he was so angry. He wanted to murder everybody in his house. He took his gun. He had his gun out. And he was going, he just wanted to shoot up his, I mean, it was empty, obviously. But he was I've known Kenny over 20 years. I have never seen him that upset. He was so upset.
I mean, if he points that thing at the computer, maybe it'll listen to him.
Maybe it'll work better than the computer. Yeah. So we were like, all right. And we were joking with him, like even throughout the week, like, hey, Kenny, listen, make sure you start your computer up. Joey's like, start it up at like 3:30, maybe you'll be, in time. I
said that to him last week. Yeah.
And he, what was the text? He texted us like 10 minutes to 7. And he was like, go ahead, read it.
I'm almost there.
It's almost there.
Having trouble, but should be almost there. Google is spinning.
No, that's what I used to say at massage parlors when the girls are like, "Come on, man, we're getting to your time." I'm like, "Just keep going, keep spinning it. I'm almost there." And so we'll see.
He says he's having trouble with Chrome, so I gave him 4 other web browsers he can try.
Yeah,
but I guess if he can't get into Chrome, then he can't download any of those other 4 either. So,
shit,
think of that first.
Yeah. Who knows? Well, listen, if he gets on, he gets on. If not, maybe, who knows? We'll definitely do a show. But you know what? Erica, speaking of Erica, she's of course our pal. Me and Kenny have known Erica for 20 years. We're like her big brothers. And
lucky her.
She actually had her second gig down at Uncle Vinny's yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Right before my gig, which was hers was I think T and Tara. No, fuck. It's like wait, can she put it in the chat so at least I get it correctly? Can you see the chat, Joey?
Yeah.
But she reads people's tarot cards.
Tarot, yeah.
Yes. Tarot. I think it's like tea and tarots or something like that with Erica.
Isn't it tarot cards?
No, tarot, right? Tarot cards.
Like tarot cards. T-A-R-O.
Right? I think it's spelled with a T, but I think
the last T is silent.
The last T is silent. Exactly.
Correct.
Which Kenny is, thank God.
Leave off the last S for savings.
Hey-oh.
What is that from? What? That's from a commercial, right?
That's 1-800-Mattress.
Oh, okay.
Leave off the last S for savings.
She said T and tarot cards.
It's leave off the last S because they didn't have enough fucking room to put the fucking number in.
Put the full
bags. And what is it again?
T and tarot cards.
T and tarot cards.
Yeah.
And so this was her second gig at Uncle Vinny's.
So what does she do? Stand up, or she just does readings?
No. She does readings. People come there. People come there. She does it like 10 in the morning, so they have like a brunch or something like that.
Oh, that's crazy. That's kind of cool.
And she sits in the corner, and each and it's mostly women will come up one at a time, and she reads their tarot cards, and it's going, it's going well. She's done 2 so far, and I think they're really enjoying it, and Dino's really he likes the idea of it, and he's building it up. And I don't know if she's got another one, but if she does,
what's his last name? It's something with an S, right?
Who?
Dino.
No, Dino is Ibelli.
Okay. Yeah. I was close.
Right. So Dino, who's the owner of Uncle Vinny's, he's really
he was on my he was on my Facebook for a while. I don't know if he's still.
No, he probably heard a couple of your bad jokes and was like, "Yeah, I don't need to fucking talk with this guy anymore."
You could just say a couple of my jokes. The bad part is kind of understood.
Yeah, exactly. It's all implied.
yeah, implied. That's the word I'm looking for.
So, and I'll just talk. I'll just bring this up real fast. So after Erica's thing, we had our second annual Honeymooners Podcast Raccoon Convention, and at Uncle Vinny's, and it was nerve wracking because I want everything to go well, but it was awesome. Of course, like last year, Art Carney's son Brian Carney came down. And I don't need a deck of cards to tell me why my driver's license can.
Tell me what my driver's license can. Tell me what my driver's license can. What my driver's license can.
Yeah. But so we had Art Carney's son, Brian Carney, and he brought.
That was yesterday, right?
Yeah, that was yesterday. He brought his dad's Oscar, he brought his dad's Emmy, his Golden
Globe.
Hat
was there. Was that?
And he
there?
brought that. He brings that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool.
And it
Did
was.
you post any pictures? I didn't see. I didn't go looking for it, but
I haven't posted any on mine. But it's on all the Honeymooners stuff. Okay. And Brian's really become a close friend. You know, like he we talk, and he loves doing it. You know, he comes down and he does it all the time for people. He really enjoys giving people joy. He was offered money to put the hat in the Smithsonian, and he said, no, I don't want to do it. And for the last 20, 30 or maybe longer, he's brought it around. I mean, because his dad died in 2002 or 2003,
right?
So at the bare minimum 20 years since his dad has passed away, he brings it around, and it brings him so much joy just to see people's faces light up and they put the hat on, and it's just it's fantastic. So it was great. We had
I was never the biggest Honeymooners guy. I like it, but not like, I'm not like you are, but that would be awesome to wear that hat for fucking 2 minutes.
Yeah, dude. It's so friggin' cool. It's iconic, and and that's not even an exaggeration. And he told the story. His dad bought that.
I can't even hear Art Carney's name without picturing him with the hat on.
With the hat, yeah.
I couldn't name anything else he did besides that, besides Honeymooners.
Oh, well, yeah. He was in a ton of things, and he was actually in the original Odd Couple play before the movie.
That's cool.
And he played Felix, but and he was doing it. It was with Walter Matthau, and Walter Matthau was playing Oscar, and they said that they used to switch parts sometimes. Just because they were so bored with doing it, and his old man was just amazing. But
that's so. Could you picture like Talia Shire and Sylvester Stallone like switching parts, or Rocky Stallone switching parts?
No, yo, Rocky, I did it. Rocky, we did it. I did it.
Oh, that's funny though. You get like so used to knowing.
You can't win, Rock. Hey, you can't win, Rock. We got everything but the truth. What's the truth? I'm afraid. I'm afraid, okay? I'm afraid.
Rocky Stallone.
Shit. I'm sorry, but I love Rocky 3 is my favorite. I've seen Rocky 3 a zillion times, and I can count on two hands how many times I've seen Rocky 1 and 2.
I think 4 is never my favorite one.
Which one?
4, I think, is my favorite one.
4 with I must break you, Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
3 with Mr. T and fucking Hulk Hogan.
I love 3 because of Hogan and Mr. T. But
fantastic.
But I think 4 is like my favorite one. AMC does revenues. What is it called when you do something over and over and over for a long time? Marathons. And
you said wait a minute, you got revenue from marathons? What's that thing? It's like a blanket or something. Oh, years. That's right, years. It's been years. How the fuck did you go from revenue to fucking marathon? He was wearing one of those things, it's like not a hat. I don't know, an overcoat. Yeah. I don't know. Not an overcoat. It was the same thing. I'm sorry.
I don't know, but AMC does movie marathons of Rocky a lot. Like at least once a month, I catch one on there, and I
they're
have to
always on.
watch the whole thing.
And if it's 3, I have.
And I have
to watch it.
we've actually talked about this before, but my TV service I have is IPTV. It comes from like another country, and it's every channel in the world. And there's
Right.
a whole section called 24/7, and it's like 62 channels, I think, of just whatever the topic is, 24/7. So there's like 24/7 Al Pacino movies and everything he ever did, or 24/7 Tom Hanks, and there's a 24/7 Rocky channel. And then there's like, 24/7 G.I. Joe, He-Man, 24/7 WrestleMania. But I put that Rocky and the Indiana Jones one I put on like all the time.
Do they have commercials?
No, it's not real TV. Well, the regular like live TV channels they do because they're regular TV, but the 24/7 ones don't.
But those ones, okay, gotcha.
I imagine
pretty
it's like
wild,
some fucking hacker kid in England because it's based in England, which is why it's allowed here. But
Gotcha.
But I imagine it's like some hacker kid who's 14, like just has these movies on his computer that they connected to and play. I mean, I don't know where it comes from.
Is it one of Anonymous's nephews? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Hey, kid, hey. Listen, we're going to torment Donald Trump and Elon Musk, but while we're doing that, go make some TV channels for Joey Image in West Madison, New Jersey, okay? Shit. So the honeymooners thing was just awesome. It was so great. So many people came out, and
that's cool.
We already
was
have
there
the date for
walk-ups too,
next year.
or was you only did pre-sales?
Most of it was pre-sales. There were a couple of people that walked up, but most of the guy came from Arizona. Cool. This guy Carrie.
Holy
came
shit,
from
that's
Arizona.
awesome.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Cool.
I mean, he's from here. He came to,
right.
He came for that, and then visited his nephew for a few days.
Right.
But most of the people are from,
Dude,
the New York
it's
area.
like there's people like that. When I do the wrestling shows in Lancaster, there's a couple that drives down here 9 fucking hours from Toronto. And I'm like,
wow.
It's fucking insane. Why don't you fly it costs because it's cheaper in gas both ways than it is.
Is it really?
To fly? I'm like, that's crazy though. I guess.
I missed that last thing that Aku just put up, Shawnee. Can you put that back up?
He said in Mr. T's voice, I pity the fool who can't fight out of the corner. I pity the fool who can't get Google Chrome working.
Shit. So, you know what? I might as well bring this up before
I was gonna
bring
up one real quick thing that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. When we were talking about the wacky sports of fucking phone booth boxing and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the one that I found like right after we went off the air?
The one with the blind
it was
MMA?
blindfolded MMA from Czechoslovakia.
Dude, and the music that they play, it's hilarious. And they're just sitting there dancing around
and
dancing around, and then all of a sudden, and it's got this funny whistling music playing because they're just trying to hit each other, but they're just dancing around. And then the moment they make contact, they turn into fucking MMA guys.
Yeah,
like they look,
but then they lose each other again.
Dude, did they lose? No, I think it was
really only like a minute long, and it was like
no, it's not long. It's not long at all.
Yeah, the one that I sent was like a minute long, and like they're like they can't see each other, and then they make contact, and they realize, oh shit, the guy's right there, and they swing and hit each other or whatever, and then they're not connected at the time, so they lose each other again, and then they're walking around, and the referee's like just look like
oh, it's hilarious, and the music's so great because it's like. and they're just swinging into nowhere, and they're desperately trying to like find the other guy. It's
so funny. I have to find that video and send it to Sean and see if he can.
Yeah, if you want to send it to Sean, and then maybe he'll play it later or something.
Oh, it was 22 seconds. That's it. So I got it right here. Check blindfolded MMA. Check like CZEC, whatever the fuck it's called, ECH. That's Czechoslovakia, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay. It's so who comes up with? I mean, I said it that night on the show with the card jujitsu. Who the fuck comes up?
Yeah.
Like pretty soon. I mean, they already have dogs playing football. I was gonna say they're gonna have like the Cat World Series, but they already have the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah. And I had to tell you, I watched that day. We were home, me and the wife, and we were just hanging out, and I watched a bunch of the pregame Puppy Bowl shit, and it was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I watched that shit now that I have a dog.
It was just so adorable, and it was so much better than like watching like not the game, because the game, and I always watch the game, but
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, what are you gonna do?
Halftime show.
Scroll on TikTok and watch some everybody bitching about the news and all that, and it was just like, yeah, I'm just watching cute little puppy dogs. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
But you know what? Real quick, maybe Shawnee can put the picture up.
Yeah.
I just
Sean, I
wanted
sent
to
you that. I
promote-
just sent you that video a minute
okay.
ago. Sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to promote my show where Kenny's going to be hosting and Joey's also going to be there hanging out on April 12th. There it is. Oh, this kid is fucking genius. It's my he's finally local comedy show sponsored by the Comedy Shop. I will be at the Baymont by Wyndham Hotel, which used to be called the Regency House on Route 23 North in Pompton Plains. And all you got to do is go to jjcomedy.com and you can get your tickets. It's a 6:30, the doors open, 8 p.m. show. They're only going to have like light snacks and just drinks. And it's cash only, but there is an ATM in the lobby of the hotel if you don't bring cash. So come on out. It's going to be a great time. Kenny hosting, me, and my good friend Jonathan Lantich, and another good guy, Stephen Joseph. And Jonathan is very new at comedy, but he's really good. And Stephen Joseph is I met him through my brother. He's a local guy, and he's got a bunch of his friends coming, and it's going to be a great time. So Saturday, April 12th, 8 p.m. show. Come on out, see me, Joe Conte.
I'm hoping to get there. I'm hoping to get there by 7ish. We have something to do during the day, so I'm hoping to get there by 7. We'll definitely be there before
whatever.
8.
Yeah, there's no
Me
rush.
and the missus and a couple friends. Yeah, I'll definitely be there before 8, but it just depends on where the fuck we can park.
Yep,
where we
absolutely.
can find a place to park too.
Yep, for sure. Why don't I'm going to hold off on. I had a little bit of a procedure done today, and but I wanted to hold off to see if Kenny comes in. But Joey, why don't you bring up?
A coup in the chat room just said we were talking about. I was talking about that couple that drives from Ontario to Lancaster to fucking go to the wrestling shows.
Mm-hmm.
He said it's literally faster to drive from where I am in Ontario to Florida than to drive across the province of Ontario. That's crazy.
Holy shit!
Ontario is like way up there. I mean, it's like above Buffalo. Is Toronto? Wait, Toronto and Ontario are two separate provinces, right?
I think Toronto is the city,
part
and
of
I think
Ontario?
Ontario is more of
Toronto,
the province.
Ontario is so when I used to wrestle in Canada, I was in Hamilton, Ontario, which I thought was close to Toronto, or I don't know if it was in Toronto or whatever.
No,
but yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Toronto's right on the other side of the border by Buffalo.
Yeah,
that
was the only place I found a Roy Rogers was in fucking Buffalo, right on the border. Like this place fucking exists.
Well, you know what? There are still a couple in Jersey, and I think if there is an area in Jersey, right? It's directly south of Seaside Heights and Tom's River. I think it's called Beechwood. It's Route 9. If you ever go to get off at exit 80 off of the Parkway, and when you get off exit 80, you get on Route 9, and you go, you would feel like you're in a a DeLorean, and you feel like you went back in time to 1976. It is like fucking Bradley's parking lots, and you still can see the Bradley sign, but it's been closed for 30 years. Roy Rogers, I swear it is a time warp. It is a distortion.
Kenny was sitting great there.
It is it would be. It is a distortion of reality. It's Route 9 south of exit 80. If you get off exit 80 and then just start going down South Route 9, you will be like,
exit 80 is like by Seaside Park. I think Seaside Park is actually 82, but 82 is yeah,
absolutely.
But 80 is right by there. Rule of Toronto. Even Toronto is 2 hours from Toronto. You know, it's funny. I was out in Houston a few months ago for the wrestling thing, and a buddy of mine was like, "Oh yeah." I texted my buddy. I was like, "Oh, we should hang out. I haven't seen you in a while." He's like, "Dude, I live in Dallas." I go, "Yeah, I'm going to be in Houston." He's like, "It's like a 6-hour drive." I go, "What does that mean?"
Yeah,
he's like, "Dallas is like a 6-hour drive from Dallas, dude." I'm like, "Holy crap, that's crazy." He's like, "Yeah, it's 2 hours from where I live to get to the end of Dallas. That's just Dallas. Like, that's not Texas. That's the border of Dallas. And then it's another hour and a half to get to Houston." I'm like, "Holy shit, dude. Why is it so fucking big?" That's
We, you know,
crazy.
we live in Jersey, so if you go from the top of like if you're on the Parkway, the Garden State Parkway, the numbers are actually it's like if you go from exit 30 to exit 60, that means you went 30 miles.
30 miles.
That's how
Yeah.
the numbers work. And you go from exit 0 down at Cape May all the way to exit
173, I
172.
think.
I think it's at 172 or 173. So you're talking
Yeah.
about from the bottom of Jersey all the way to the top,
Yeah, it's like
173
3.5 hours.
miles.
Yeah,
That's
it's like 3.5 hours.
if that, yeah, it's
Yeah,
not, yeah, 3.5 hours
yeah.
tops.
And that's the whole
by the
state.
way, in that 3.5 hours, you will give 1,400 people the finger on the fucking Parkway.
You'll pay about that much in money,
you'll-
in dollars too, for toll.
exactly. You'll pay 1,400 in tolls, and you'll get into 7 fistfights all the way up the fucking Parkway.
While driving.
Everybody's so
Just like
goddamn
those
angry.
videos.
It's just hilarious.
And that's the state. I mean, this guy was talking. My buddy George was talking about Dallas. Oh, it's like 2 hours for me to get to the center of town in Dallas, and then it's
Right.
another like hour and a half before I'm even in Houston. Like, holy shit, that's crazy.
Shawnee I don't know why he didn't just say this, but it looks funnier in text. Can we
Yeah.
take a vote on Kenny's reaction when he finally gets in about 30 seconds before we end the show? Do you think he's going to be cocking his friggin' gun like he was last week? He was losing his mind.
Yeah.
He was so upset. It's like, dude, so what? You didn't do the show. Who gives a shit? I'm
Yeah.
actually happy when I don't do this fucking show. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm like,
Well,
cool.
we
I can just hang out with my
We can
wife.
switch
watch
to
television.
monthly.
Yeah. You know, think about it, dude.
Oh, here's
We-
the text message going off.
Well, what do we got? What do we got? No, boy. I don't even want to look.
Is he almost here?
Oh, no.
No, it says I hear it in my head in his voice.
Yeah.
I can't I can't
Do I
do
have to
this.
read it for you?
I can't. It's just because I hear it in his voice, so I'm laughing.
Oh, okay. Here it is. I can't do this. I'm freaking out. I'm about to destroy everything in my path.
We're gonna start calling him Hurricane Kenny, Hurricane Michaels.
Oh my God! Yeah, exactly. Fucking Kenny, the Tasmanian blonde devil. It's just ridiculous. Aku, even with the amazing technology of today, people still can't fathom how large the planet is. Yeah, it's still utterly amazing how big this fucking place is, and it's tiny compared to most other planetary fucking things out there. And that's
planetary
the problem.
things out there.
Planetary things out
you mean
there. I'm a
planets?
real science guy, yeah. But that's the
You
thing,
mean
and that's
planets,
the problem
yeah.
with.
Clearly, you're a real language guy too.
Oh yeah, I'm a big time. I'm like
talk
the
for a
president.
living.
I make good words. I have the best words. But he
These are all great words. I can't do the voice though.
I'm
These
not
are all
good at
great
the
words.
impression either. Yeah.
Huge. These words are huge.
But the thing is, and that's the problem with marijuana. If you're smoking and then you start watching anything about the universe, it fucks your head up because you feel so goddamn insignificant.
Yeah.
You're like, I am a microbe on like,
Oh yeah.
I'm like a fucking microfabric piece on a giant shawl on some Jewish woman in fucking Upper West Side Manhattan. Like I am nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's when I just that's when I go, all right, I gotta put on the Flintstones or something and just fucking laugh or something, man. It gets fucking deep and heavy for me. For sure. Yeah. Oh my God. You know,
We just read that.
oh yeah. Man, I don't even. Oh, you Snickers, Kenny. You aren't yourself when you aren't you aren't yourself when you aren't on the air. Oh my God. Hey, does a coup want? You know what? Since Kenny can't jump in, does a coup want to jump on? We had what's his name come on for a few minutes. I don't know. A coup. Are you interested in coming on? Let us know. Shawnee, would you be able to email him if he's like cool with
Kenny's
it?
gonna pop
Yeah, I
in
can
like
send him
4
a link.
seconds before he connects.
Yeah, ask. Well, see if I don't see the chat. Do you see the chat, Joey?
Yeah, he didn't say anything yet.
You didn't say anything yet?
I always assume there's like a delay because when we start talking about something, it's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes before people start responding to it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
So I always
Maybe
figured there's a delay there.
Maybe they're just not listening to us. Let's be honest. Maybe that's really it, dude.
Yeah, that's the more likely scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Oh my goodness, Aku is great.
I was thinking about this before we went live when I said, "Hey, did you see the post I wrote?" Nobody ever questions those posts I write. They just hit like nobody ever like. It's
because
weird.
they're probably thinking that we're just special, and it's almost like patting the slow kid on. You're like, you did a good job.
Yeah, it's a pity. Like,
yeah, believe me, dude. It happens all the time.
Aku says yes, but I don't have a good connection. Well, so in other words, we're gonna replace Kenny with Kenny.
So we could have we could have Kenny Aku Michaels come on. That'll be great. It'll be cool.
Instead of Aku Mujin, it's Aku Michaels. He said there's a small delay, but I was typing another terrible joke.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, then you would make a perfect replacement for Kenny. All right, with the terrible jokes, because I want to talk about the thing that I got done today. But I wanted to. I was hoping
there was
Kenny was going to be.
There was two other things you wanted to talk about last week that you didn't because you wanted Kenny to.
And I still
both of us to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? The one, Shawnee, play the clip of me promoting my show. I'll just tell everybody what Kenny thought about it, and it was kind of funny. If you want to play that real quick, it was a dumb video that I made, and I got so much flack for this video because I was eating while I was talking.
The one you're sitting on the couch.
Yeah,
right, from last week.
I was. It's in my little hammock. It's a chair hammock that I was.
Oh, okay.
So let's see.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Joe Conte here. How are you?
Outside.
Happy Friday. Hope everybody's having a good time. A good weekend. Everybody, for a long time, has been breaking my chops, asking me, when are you going to be local? When are you going to be local? Well, I'm local, bitches, all right? April 12th, I will be at the Baymont of Wyndham Hotel. It used to be the Regency House where we got married 9 years ago. Route 23 in Pompton Plains. If you want to come, it's going to be a great night. April 12th, 8 p.m. show, Saturday night. Come see me. Kenny Michaels will be hosting. A couple other good comics on the show. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So, this is as local as you're going to get, okay? I don't know if you want me to perform in your driveway so you could just peek out your picture window and be like, oh, look, he looks funny, but I can't hear him. So, this is your opportunity. We can all hang out. We can have some drinks, do some drugs, have sex with furniture or on furniture, with furniture. I don't know. I believe I'm the only person on the planet that loves green apples. I don't like any other ones, just the green ones. Let me know if you like green apples also. Go to jjcomedy.com, get your ticket, $25. But if you know me and you're friends with me, they gave me a bunch of tickets I can sell, so you don't have to go online and pay the fees. $25 cash. I got tickets. I can get them to you. So get in touch with me or order them. It's going to be a great night. And let me know if you like green apples. Okay. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
By the way, I had 2 green apples last week. I got a bag.
All right, good. Read the last 2 comments that 2 Joints put up. All right.
Now the third one. Jesus
here
Christ,
it is. Hold
Joe.
on. He put, Jesus Christ, Joe. Next time, eat corn on the cob while talking, much quieter. And then let me see. Pick the most fucking fibrous fruit to eat while talking. Yes, and that was the point. Is that Joe saying green apples with a mouthful? Forgettable. Yeah, exactly. So that was. I got so much crap. My wife almost fucking flipped. My wife is very proper. Like, my wife likes shit jokes and all that shit. But when it comes to, like, she has, her family is from England. Like, originally, her grandparents are from England. So she's all about proper. Like, you have your fork on one side, the knife on the other.
So
you don't.
She's a bit posh.
Yes, you do not eat with your mouth fucking. You don't talk with your mouth full.
Yeah, of course.
So her and fucking everybody was like, Jesus Christ, Joe, could you not And I was just being a dick, I was
that
just
was
being
the
a
point,
dick. Like,
right.
of course, I'm going to fucking eat an apple while talking and promote my show and annoy the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
Here's what Kenny told me. He's watching it. And because I was eating the apple, Kenny started chewing while he was watching me do that. It made Kenny
instinctively?
subconsciously, he was watching and he's going, and he didn't have anything in his mouth and he was chewing. I couldn't believe
So instead
it,
of
dude.
selling tickets, you're fucking sending people to McDonald's.
I guess, but he started chewing. It's like, I guess it's almost like if you're watching like a movie and somebody's like hanging off a cliff, you kind of like move that way. You're like, oh my God, don't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
He
The reaction,
started fucking chewing nothing in his mouth without even realizing it because he was watching me chew the apple.
That's
and
hilarious.
I thought that was fucking hilarious. But yeah, it's great.
Oh, that's
Kenny.
funny.
Oh, let's see what
It's
the
been
updates
9
are.
minutes since there was last a text from Kenny, so I don't know.
Oh my God! Well, everybody keep alert.
I'm
if you
assuming
have
he's still
like,
alive. We'll see.
well, I'm just saying, if you're down
Computer might not
in
be.
the near Monroe, New Jersey, put your CBs on, and if you hear about a gunshot, like 3 or 4 shots, and maybe like an attempted,
chickens?
I don't know, self-aliving, whatever, unaliving. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to say suicide, but I don't give a shit. The
Yeah.
point is that if you hear about
When I grew up,
anything,
that was still a word.
yeah, you might be able to. You might find out.
Maybe that's
that it was
why he
Kenny.
can't connect. Maybe he's trying to connect with a CB. Can't figure it out.
Yeah, Kenny. If he was not a kid in the 70s, Kenny would have been the guy with the walkie-talkie. I don't know, but see, Kenny's.
I had one in
always
my
been-
Mustang.
You had a walkie-talkie in your car?
A CB in my Mustang.
I mean, a CB in your car?
yeah, there was like me and like 12 of us, like 11 or 12 other guys that would hang out and just like.
You're talking
instead
about
of
late
calling
80s,
each other-
early 90s?
95. I got my license in 94. I was 17. So since then,
that's
my buddy
hilarious.
Rob installed it while I was at work one day in the parking lot, and yeah.
I love it. That's great. So you guys were able to fucking hang out in your cars and talk to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
I
you
would,
guys
I
were
would,
in a
I would
group
hang
chat.
out like on my
You guys could-
breaks at work. I worked
Yeah.
at the video store at the time. Instead of like calling 8 people on a fucking conference call, I would just sit in my car and bullshit with my buddies.
Dude, you guys could have worked for the government. You guys could have done a group chat. You know what I mean? And maybe just talk about maybe going to beat up another guy in a gang somewhere or something like that, man. That's
Yeah.
fucking bizarre, man. That's
Yeah,
cool.
we had fun. We used to click on to like random channels just to see who was talking. It was always truckers, like, we're going police, whatever you call it, speed trap up ahead. blah, blah,
Smokey.
blah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we did a little bit, and I think especially kids probably who grew up in the 60s and 70s with like teenagers
Yeah.
probably would use that to try to pick up. They would try to pick up girls, because you would just be like, and you hear a girl and then you would be like, well, where are you from? Because I mean, these things you pick up anywhere, right? You could pick up somebody in like fucking like in Russia or something, right? Or was that shortwave? Shortwave.
I don't
was
know.
like
I don't know.
Russia?
I don't know how far the distance was. We never got any girls on there, unless it was like our girlfriends or friends' girlfriends that were in the car with us.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
I only wanted a CB when I was a kid because Roscoe P. Coltrane had one from a Dukes of Hazzard,
You really?
and I was like, that guy's cool, so I'm gonna fucking get one of those. So then when I got my license, my buddy Rob that I went to high school with, fucking installed a CB in my fucking car. It was great.
See, when you say he's cool, if you guys know now, we're talking about from the Dukes of Hazzard and
Correct.
the sheriff
Roscoe P. Coltrane,
Roscoe
Boss
P. Coltrane, and he was when you say cool, that is the definition of saying that ironically, because he was
Well,
cool
he was a
because he
bumbling
was
idiot.
so uncool,
Yeah,
and they would never get the Duke boys and all that shit. But
yeah.
yeah, so if you're like trying to understand when somebody was like, "Oh, he was just being ironic with that," that
No, I
is
was being
the-
serious.
No, you were being seriously ironic. That's what you're doing. All right. You're not Alanis Morissette. You understand what ironic means.
Yeah,
She apparently doesn't. But that's what I think the whole thing about the song was. The irony was that the song was all about everything ironic, but none of it was ironic. So that was the irony of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a crush on her when she first came out. I thought she was fucking gorgeous, and I liked her too. I thought she was cool. I loved her anger. 2 joints. Wow, some boomers drinking lattes and talking to folks in their car. Dick. Oh my god, these guys are fucking great.
We used to do like CP hide and seek, where we would be like, okay, I'm 6 houses down, and you'd have to like find the guy on whatever street you were on, and whoever found him last, whoever showed up last. So like, say there were 6 of us, if I was the guy hiding and like the other 4 guys show up, then there's 1 guy still waiting. Whoever showed up last to that spot where we were hiding has to buy the pizzas, and we would buy like fucking 3 pizzas and just split them.
No, so
or buy the beers, whatever it was.
But you weren't. You were. That's weird the way you described that, because you were saying where you were hiding, but you would tell them where you were.
Well, we wouldn't say which street. I would be like, we're only allowed to go from like here to here. I'd say, okay, if you find the road I'm on, I'm 6 houses down, and we would just pull into someone's driveway, and we would get whoever was with us, and we'd all have to fucking drive around and look for this guy.
You guys are like the night glowers, but with cars. That's fantastic. What do you do? Flash your fucking high beams into their fucking into their picture windows and then fucking take off? That's so weird, man. That's funny. You and your own weird little gang. What they call them? Motor glowers? Like, what'd you guys call yourself?
Oh, we didn't have names.
No, of course not. Why
but
would
we
you do
would
that?
we would find, and the last guy that showed up had to buy either the pizzas, or my friend Scott's brother would buy us beers.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, wait, what, Shawnee?
It's shocking that we never got laid. I mean, that's.
Sean just said, "I found us a new Kenny." All right, let's see what we got going here. Let's see.
Turkey with melted.
Who's going to sit in for Kenny? Dun, 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 dun. Is that what he means? Is that what you mean, Shawnee? You could talk to us. You don't have
Yeah,
to
I'm assuming that's what I mean.
Yeah, we have a new Mr. Kenny.
We got
the
a
dog
Kenny
just
replacement.
The dog just stole a pound of fucking turkey off the counter and just threw it all up behind me, and it literally just looks like turkey right out of the belly.
Hey, is this a coup?
The big black box.
What's going on, brother?
Yo.
A bit of a delay, so I'm going to kill my cam and see if this can work.
Okay.
Oh, but you're so beautiful, just like us.
Oh, there it goes.
I don't think it's going to make much of a difference.
No, that's cool. Listen, we know what he looks like now. What's going on, Coup?
I've been doxxed.
Yeah, now there's
not a whole lot.
There's no picture or anything.
Now you're another fucking Canadian. I didn't realize you were a Canadian too.
You sound like you're going to have a bit of a problem with that.
No.
Hey?
I was trying to come up with the word "a boot" there, but
yeah, instead of about, they say a boot. Yeah. They got the accent. So now, where are you at in Canada?
Well, I'm in Ontario, and Joey would kind of
my Ontario Toronto question. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, well, okay. So Toronto is a city in Ontario, but it is so poorly laid out that if you want to go anywhere in Toronto, it's 2 hours, regardless of where you are.
It just doesn't make any sense.
They used to always break my balls when I went in there. They would stop me at the border and then stop me coming back. So I was always like I get going into a different country, and they would stop me, Border Patrol or whatever, but like trying to get back into the US, they would still stop me. I'm like, what the fuck? These people don't want me either? Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, but all right, this is how borders work. They don't know who you are, so they have to stop to see that you are American.
But when I'm going back, I'm going into my own country. Just let me go.
But they don't know you're coming back into your own country,
and fucking
dumbass.
elbow pads in my trunk. They took out. I had a shirt. I still have it somewhere. It's a plain black shirt. The front of it says "Canada sucks," and the back of it's got the maple leaf with like that no smoking sign cross thing over it. and I would wear that. And as soon as I was announced as from New Jersey, it wasn't even New Jersey. As soon as they announced that I was from the U.S. in my wrestling introductions, I would get fucking booed out of the building.
Well, you were playing the what do you call it? Not the villain, right?
The heel,
right?
The villain, yeah. But they took the shirt at Border Patrol on the way in, and they were like, "What's this?" And I had to explain, like, "Listen, it's not real. It's part of my shtick." Blah blah blah.
You should have got it written into your contract.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I don't really hate your people's guts.
I actually love Canada. Everyone up there is so fucking nice. And they have they have wacky cigarettes up there too with the pictures on. We talked about this before. The pictures of like the fucking teeth missing and like cancer-ridden lungs and shit like that. They put right on the pack of cigarettes to get you from. It's supposed to like deter you from smoking. But when I was up there, and the first time I saw one of those, and I asked the guy at whatever store, and I was like, "This is like supposed to make me stop smoking, right?" And he's like, "Yeah. It's like a warning picture. It's like in the U.S. they have warnings." I said, "Yeah, I'm from the U.S. They have warnings that say, this will cause fucking pregnancy will get hurt if you're a smoker, whatever the fuck they say, whatever they say." But this guy was like,
"It kind of words, Joey. You really do have the best words."
Yeah, the warning says pregnancy will get hurt if you smoke. So the guy at the counter was like, they actually this kind of backfired because now people come in and ask me specifically, like, "Can you give me the fucking picture of the gums, rotted out or whatever?" And people trade them here now, like you fucking people, like the Americans trade baseball cards. This is in 2006, first time I was up there, and he said it didn't work out the way the government thought it was going to. I'm like, that's pretty fucking crazy.
Oh, no surprise there.
Uh-oh, here comes Kenny again.
But that was part of our, it was called our plain packaging laws. So the idea being that, you couldn't have these flashy packages, like with Camels, what you guys have. You couldn't have that little picture of the guy smoking.
Right.
And the idea being was that, children wouldn't find smoking attractive.
Yeah.
Now,
gotcha.
What they didn't quite think of, and I'm surprised no one's done this yet, is go into a court with all of these pictures and went, "I have been traumatized by these photos, and I am suing the government."
Yeah. Carlin did a great bit about that Joe Camel thing, actually, where he's like, children don't smoke because a camel in sunglasses tells them to. They do it because it fucking helps. We have an update from Kenny.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let's see.
It says, "I can't get it going. Just when I almost get there, it says unresponsive to everything. I can't move. I need to go cool off. Sorry, fellas. I got to fix this."
Okay.
Tell him to look for a little blue button.
I can't move.
He should look for a trigger and then just point the gun towards his forehead.
Oh, God.
And then you just take the trigger.
We're going to hear about this now tomorrow.
He's going to be so upset.
Man in Monroe.
Can you tell Kenny not to listen to Nirvana right now? Because it might help.
Kenny Cobain?
Yeah, really. You know what, dude? Maybe he shouldn't have a gun. Maybe right now would be a time for Kenny not to have a gun.
I swear that I don't have a gun.
So, Aku, I have a couple of questions for you. Just like Two Joints and a bunch of you other guys that come in here. You guys are funny, like genuinely funny. Like you're not trolly funny. Like you guys are genuinely funny. Like you bust balls and you're funny. And now you're the second guy we've had on, and you are also Canadian. Like, what's up
Can
with
we
the
get
Canadians?
his camera back, or no, does it not work? It's just this picture of fucking this guy on Kenny's head is hilarious.
So to answer your question, I'll answer Joey first before I get to Conte. Where I live is so bad for reception. It actually is slower than dial-up.
Wow.
And I'm on my phone.
Oh my God.
The slowest speed I've ever got was 0.01. I think it was a kilobyte. So it's like barely a byte a second.
Right. That's like fucking impossible nowadays, or at least in a normal society, that speed is impossible. I mean, it's fucking than that.
Oh, but to answer your question, Conte, when you live in a place where 8 months of the year is nothing but ice and snow, and you're constantly digging yourself out of places, you try to make the best of things.
Yeah, it just seems that, and look, I get it. This is stereotypes, but it just seems that the Canadians have such a great outlook, and they always seem to
because
be
they're not
looking at
American.
the bright side of life and all that shit. And then when and listen, there are some great Canadian comedians. I mean, we can all bring up Norm Macdonald as one that we all bring up,
One
but
of the best. One of the
but
best.
dude, so many, like, half of the people from SCTV, Gene, oh man, from Schitt's Creek, like that was all Canadian humor,
Yeah,
and
Eugene
that
Levy.
goddamn show was hilarious.
Yeah, Eugene Levy.
Yeah, Eugene Levy, and it's just like, and I love it because usually comedy comes from pain, but maybe that the Canadians, their pain is the fact that they're in like this desolate fucking area.
Yeah.
Well, I would agree with that. But as for the comments of us being really nice, I will remind you two and everyone listening, we are half the reason the Geneva Convention exists. So,
And so you're saying that you guys were like really doing some real bad war crimes? Is that what you're saying?
well, how to put this that YouTube will allow it. Do you know Pavlov's dog? The whole thing with that.
Yeah.
Okay, we did that to the Germans. We threw them cans of food and then pulled pins and threw something else at them.
Yeah. You know what it is, man?
Well, you're great people. You just want to survive.
Well, you know what it is, man? It's like when you go to a bar and you're looking for a fucking problem, you never know who you're fucking with. Because the guy's little or just because the guy comes off nice doesn't mean you piss him off and he will fucking karate chop you and fucking just knock the shit out of you without you even realizing it. So,
yeah. And I would agree that and this is more, it is more specific. Like that's, and I would agree that comedy does come from pain and it's how you cope with it. It's how you deal with life. Yeah. And that you can really see that in some of the higher end comedians, Amy Schumer. Like in my case, I grew up on
when does she get funny? When does she start?
Right after the booing started.
Same thing with same thing with like fucking Lisa Lampanelli. Like she's not funny. It's like she just says the N-word and cunt all the time, and she thinks that's her whole fucking act, and like it's supposed to be funny. She's horrible.
I don't know. George did that and managed to make out pretty well for it. Otto was kind of left staring at him for a while.
I think he meant Carlin. Yeah, because I mentioned.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought he meant too. But he was talking about Otto and George. Yeah.
Well,
listen, it's
they
all
weren't women.
Listen, it's. I mean, I'm not saying anything that's not just obvious. I mean, it's all about your taste. But I just find it so. Now, how did you find this channel? Did you find this channel because you were like you guys knew like Shuley and Levy and that's how you found like the Replayables and Chris and all that? Like, how did you guys find this 100 proof podcasting? I'm just curious.
Well, and I'll start with saying like I love comedy, like watching people like Carlin and learning about O&A and listening to little bits of them through. I don't know if you know Laszlo Jones. He did a lot of the voice work and radio work for Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
and from there I found O&A.
GTA 5 is where I know Laszlo from.
Oh, Laszlo's amazing. And from there I found, Ant's channel, and this is years after O&A broke up. I had no idea they were broken up. I didn't know anything about Howard. They mentioned something about Stuttering John, found Shuley. He mentioned something about, Chris Abels. And I think he mentioned you guys, and watching your channel, realizing, there's professional comedians that are finding my horrendous sense of humor funny.
You and Two Joints are my favorite chat room comics, is what I call them. But
Terry Neely's good too.
And
Steve.
In the back of my head, I'll type a joke thinking it's funny. It will bomb with you guys, and all I can hear is a car crash going off.
Yeah. I did that car crash comedy thing on O&A back in 2007, and I actually did. I almost went through the whole thing. I almost got to my whole set, and then I car crashed. But it was fun. It was Lewis Black was there, which was cool. I was friends with Otto, so I used to go to the studio a lot with Otto. That's how that's how I knew those guys. You know, I met Jimmy a bunch of times. Anthony, I went to his house a couple times, played poker with him, and just met Opie, like, you know, at events. But it's fun to, and see, this is where I always say, and I've said this on this show, the problem with these great shows, and I'm not talking about our show, I'm talking about the big ones, the really popular ones, especially Opie and Anthony, because the Opie and Anthony show was so brutal, so vicious, and so funny that they made it look easy. The really, really good ones, when it comes to anything, make it look easy. The difference is, when you watch LeBron James do something, you're like, yeah, there's no way I can do that. But when you watch guys, when you watch guys,
I'm a white guy, so I can't jump anyway.
Right, exactly. We saw that. You are fucking white. Like you make an Italian look like a black dude. All right,
that's he's from Canada, dude. He's the same color as the snow.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, is that they make it look easy, and then when other people try it, it comes out all fucked up. And I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about people that think, well, I can go and make fun of black people, or I can do a gay joke. And you're not even doing one, you're just spouting hate. And it's like, I'm all down with the jokes. I'm all down. You fuck with everybody. That's totally cool. But there's one rule. You got to be funny. And if it's not funny, that's why we always say there's a difference between, like, when they say a comic is dirty. If you're dirty, that means you're not funny, because you can be filthy. Nobody will say, oh my God, that guy's so dirty. They'll say, holy shit, that guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
Then they'll say,
like a crutch almost.
They'll quantify it, and they'll say, oh, that guy was hilarious. Oh my God, he was it was hilarious and filthy, or hilarious and racial, or hilarious and whatever. But the first thing, it's funny. Boom. When you're funny and it's coming from a place, listen, Here is, I always tell this, I always use this scenario. It's always about who it is and where it's coming from. Like, let's say the five of us, right? Me, Kenny, Joey, Aku, and Shawnee, and we're all hanging out. We're all really good friends, right? And we're at a bar. And Aku,
what kind of fucking nightmare is this?
Yeah, it's a fucking disaster. Now, Aku, let's just say Aku was always the ladies' man. Aku always got a lot of chicks. And Aku is kind of like being a dick. And he's like, yo, dude, see that hot blonde over there? I'm going to walk right up to her. I'm just going to fucking talk to her. You watch what happens, right? So we're all sitting at the fucking end of the bar, right? And he walks over, he starts giving his fucking spiel. And she's like, fuck you. And she throws her drink at him, right? And now, what are we going to do? We're going to fucking bust out laughing. It's
of course
hilarious, right? Like, and when he comes back, we're like, bah, you fucking silk, you got fucking drink thrown at you, right? Hilarious. Now, let's say Kenny is one of our friends, and Kenny never has done good with women. It's just never been his thing. You know, he's tried and it just hasn't worked. And Kenny's like, hey man, I'm going to go try to talk to that girl over there. We're like, all right, man, go for it. And the same thing happens. It sucks.
Oh yeah. Then we feel bad.
It sucks.
Right.
It's not funny. It sucks.
Yeah, because you don't want to see someone doing better than you do better than you.
But it's also because of who the person was, what the situation is, and that's what makes it funny. And it's just recognizing that. And when people watch the real good ones do it, it looks easy. And then when you try to do it, you're like, oh shit, you mean I just made fun of that dude in a wheelchair for no reason?
Well, from what I've done and seen, the big thing that separates real comedians from, people who just walk in and then get booed off stage is the people who make it are the ones who accept that they can do everything right. They can line up perfect jokes. Everything sounds great, but it still fails. Things still go wrong. They accept that and they try to either make the most of it or at the very least acknowledge the fact that their joke just bombed and try to salvage it and acknowledge to the audience, yep, I just completely hit myself in the head with a frying pan.
That's part of what
Yes.
made Norm Macdonald so great. That's how he was. He would
And
fucking bomb on purpose.
Listen, it's all about self-awareness. And listen, if you are naturally like I do a lot of self-deprecating humor. That's who I've always done.
Me
that.
too, except I'm not a comedian.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
a
that's what I'm
comic, I
saying.
just
But it doesn't
do
matter. It's and doesn't mean that that's what you have to do. But listen, the first time I ever did stand up, right? I went to an open mic at the Stress Factory. I did like 3 minutes, scared out of my fucking mind.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, I got a couple of chuckles. Probably it was a nightmare. It was so scary, but I got a couple of chuckles, and it was fucking awesome. The next week, I went back, and I was doing the same couple of jokes, and I'm bombing. I'm getting nothing. So not my comedic instinct, because I had never done comedy before, but my instinct as a person, I started making fun of the fact that I was bombing. And it was only my second time on stage, and I got a couple of chuckles.
That's
and
brilliant.
It was like, and it kind of saved me from like, never wanting to do it again,
Yeah.
And, it's self-recognition. And like you said, hey, listen, even the best bomb, but if you recognize it and say, hey, you know what, like Aku says, you go to it and you just do it, and then you see how it works, and then maybe you can tweak it afterwards. But
I always think like you just told that story. I always think like what made me never try it, because I've always wanted to. Like I've always wanted to do stand up and wrestling were like my two fucking childhood dreams. And I did sorry, I'm looking for the dog. I thought I heard him behind me. And I did the one, but I've never attempted the stand up thing.
Now, Aku, did you ever try stand up?
I've done it twice. Once was at a wedding for a buddy of mine. And
that's called a best man speech.
I tried to roast him, and it sounded more like Dice with a Canadian accent, really. Like, hey, this guy here did, and I was it was just dead quiet. It was dead quiet, and I realized, like, all right, I'm bombing at this, and I looked over because the bride had her entire lacrosse team with her. And, a little light bulb went off, and I went, for anyone who's wondering why I'm not going after the bride, it's because I'm not going to make it to the door if I start because of them. Huge cheer, put the mic down, walked back over to my seat.
Genius. You made yourself, I don't want to say the victim, but you made yourself the butt of the joke, in a sense, where you're like, yeah, if I do that, I'm getting my ass kicked. And then everybody's like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been funny to watch, it was a funny joke, but had I actually not said that and started the joke or started making jokes, it would have been funny regardless.
If you would have said that, right? And you would have said, hey, listen, I was going to make fun of whatever, but with the whole lacrosse team there, yeah, that wasn't happening. So how about this lacrosse team? And then you, like I said, that's what you're probably saying you were going to do. And that would have been hilarious. You know what I mean? And I'm guessing that's what you were just saying. Yeah.
Well, the other time I got a buddy of mine, he's very amateur, but he had a gig in, I think it was London. And I went to go see him, and he thinks I'm funny. And he asked if I wanted to go up and do a couple of minutes. I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? And I walked up and basically went, guys, we're just waiting for the next guy to come on. But in the meantime, I can tell you exactly why there's a 2-drink minimum. 1 drink's for you, and the other one's for you to toss at me when I inevitably say something you don't like. There was a 78-year-old man in the front row with an open whiskey.
Oh, no.
And sure enough, all I see from the spotlight is just the glass and the hunk of ice coming at me.
That's a good line, though.
Yeah, it's a good line. And what a dick, because you didn't even say anything yet. All you did was give him the opportunity that maybe if I do something shitty, you could throw it at me. And that was his cue to just fucking hurl a glass of whiskey at you.
The mere presence was warranted to throw that fucking whiskey.
Oh, my God, what a dick.
Well, I asked the guy up in the booth to put the light on him, because I wanted to ask him some questions, obviously. And so I found out it was his birthday. The entire house wanted to buy him drinks until everyone was gone.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, You know what? Since you're here too, and I don't want to wait for next week to do this. I figured, Aku, you might have a little fun with this, and Joey. I had a little procedure today. I had to go to my dentist because on my lip, I can't really get it closer. But
I saw you looking at it before.
Yeah. So what happens is I would get this little bubble on my lip every once in a while, right? And I found out that it is actually it's a soft oral tissue issue, which is quite humorous, and it's called an irritational fibroma. So it looks like a tiny little white bubble on my lip, and it would appear every once in a while. And you know when it would come? It would, like, if I was eating something and I accidentally bit my lip in this one spot,
like irritated, right?
Yeah. So what I do is I would sit there and try to bite it and bite it and bite it. And when I had my teeth cleaned last week, he was like, I was joking with the girl. I'm like, she's like, listen, this is one of those things that it'll go away, but it'll always come back. So I was like, kind of like herpes. God. And I said to her, I was like, kind of like herpes. She was like, no, not kind of like herpes. She was like, no, it's not like herpes.
It was a joke, lady. Relax.
Yeah, no, she was cool. She was like, no, it's not like herpes. But so I had to go, and today they numbed my fucking face up and then snipped it off and then put little like stitches in it. And and the stitches are supposed to come out, but I just found it great that it's a soft oral tissue issue. Like that would be like a great title for like a fucking comedy album. Soft oral tissue issue. You know what I mean? I just think it would be great.
Or a Conte and Kenny Show episode.
Yeah, and I have like some sort of fibroma. And my fucking lip before was like this, and I just kept putting ice on it so it came down. But dude, I got shows tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I'm hoping that I don't pick at this thing and then rip the fucking stitches out, because it's gonna take like 5 days.
So I have two questions for you then.
Should put like a comically big fucking Band-Aid on it for the show.
So firstly, can you collect benefits? And secondly, how do you guys not have flavored stitches yet?
That is interesting.
There's mint stitches.
There's mint stitches?
Yeah. I've had them on the inside of my mouth before. Yeah. I have an abscess in the like, if I had no fucking lip, it would be right here from my tongue ring. I used to have a 00 gauge, which is like if you put two number 2 pencils together, it's like that thick. And the ball at the end, the barbell ball, was it was like a marble, and it would rub against the inside of my gums and irritate it and put a fucking hole there. So with my tongue, I could feel the roots of my teeth, like they're exposed or whatever. So there was like a stitch or two that were put in there for something. Never fucking did anything. They just dissolved, but they were mint. It looked like mint dental floss. Just looked like that.
Huh. That would be interesting. And what was the first question again, Aku?
Do you have because would what you have technically be considered, a disability, so you can collect benefits for that?
I think what would be considered a disability? If something allowed me to speak, and I think that would actually make it more of a disability. If something could prevent me from speaking, I could probably survive a little bit better. But my mouth always seems to fucking run me into the wrong fucking direction all the time. What is Aku? Like, what is Aku? Like, where did you get the name Aku?
So. I actually had I had another name for the longest time, but I found out that somebody else had my old name on YouTube.
Okay,
and like I've had this account since Google email existed. I think it was like the day of. My brother signed me up. He was really big on technology. Just that autistic drive to get new technology. And I later had to change it, and I'm big on video games. And at the time, I was playing a lot of those old Japanese RPGs like Final Fantasy.
Well, that's where Mugen comes from. I know that part.
Well, actually, both of them they both kind of come from anime, but I didn't find out that Aku actually had a character name from Samurai Jack, the main villain. But if you actually look at the way they lay out the keyboards in these old games, it's alphabetical. So if you take the first row of letters, it's AKU, which was just easy because I didn't have to think of a character name. It sounded cool, and away I went.
Yeah. Wait, so have you played Mugen or Mugen, however the fuck you pronounce it?
Mugen.
Whatever it is. You know what it is?
I know what it means infinity. It's a Japanese kanji for infinity.
But do you know the game itself?
Not off the top of my head.
It's if you knew it, you'd know it. It's a hacked basically a hacked version of like almost like Marvel versus Capcom, but it's got every character from every fucking form of media you can imagine. So like it's only on PC, you have to download it, and then you have to download some of the characters. But like the first time I played it, the first fight, so it's basically Street Fighter, it's a fighting game, but the first fight that I did was Fat Albert versus the the Hawaiian Punch pitcher guy. I put pictures of it on Facebook. It's so fucking wacky. Like you do like Santa Claus versus He-Man, or like Superman versus Spider-Man. It's just some fucking wacky shit. But that's where I thought the name came from, because you're a video game guy, which I am too.
It ironically actually really formed like because again I made it in my teenage years, and I just stuck with it because it's 3 letters and not a lot of people use it, at least in North America. But it actually kind of worked into my game style, where I was much like, in real life for us Canadians, known for committing war crimes. I was the guy who you'd find on servers trying to break every rule in the, or game rule that you could find, just finding glitches, exploits, or if I was playing a war game, legitimately creating war crimes.
Nice. And back to the Geneva fucking convention, right? Is that where we're?
That's a Geneva checklist, my friend. That's a checklist.
That's pretty wild, man. I never. It's odd. I don't trash video games. In fact, my old roommates, when I was in my 20s and early 30s, they used to play Madden. I would actually watch them play FIFA. I would watch them play football like I was watching a game. Like if it was just like a Wednesday night, we were just hanging out. But I never cared to play. And but I get it. I mean, I played Atari 2600 when I was a kid for a while.
I don't know if you can really tell right here, but this is like just a quick video of it. I'm trying.
Isn't that fucking what's his face from Futurama?
Yeah,
Bender
fighting Sonya Blade from fucking Mortal Kombat. It's the wackiest fucking game, but like you can make your own fucking characters, and you could put in like a request on their official website or their Discord server or whatever, and to ask them, hey, can you make fucking Pee Wee Herman or whatever, and they someone will do it, and it's so fucking wacky, but it's hilarious.
That's funny.
It's free. I mean,
Fat Albert
versus the Hawaiian Punch guy.
Pitcher. Wait a minute, the high C pitch or the Hawaiian?
No,
punch
the Hawaiian
guy?
Punch guy. The one that's in the big picture. The one that busts through the wall. Yeah, that's Hawaiian Punch.
That's the Kool-Aid Man.
That's Kool-Aid.
Oh, the Kool-Aid Man. That's what it was.
Hawaiian Punch with the 2 guys. Yeah. How'd you like a Hawaiian Punch? And then he would just physically assault the guy. It's fucking hilarious if you really think. Yeah.
So the Kool-Aid Man. That's what it was versus.
Kool-Aid.
Now, did you make this before or after you found out what Bill Cosby was up to?
Yeah, really. Yeah, maybe you just have I don't know, maybe Pudding Pops fucking fighting against Harvey Weinstein.
This is like 07, 08 when I first discovered this mutant game.
Okay.
Yeah, like Conte, the way I look at video games, and it's part of the reason why I don't like movies, especially because I love horror games, because and I can't really show it because otherwise my connection will just completely drop. But I'm sitting in front of probably about a 50-inch screen, so it's sitting in my peripheral vision. So I get into my games.
Right.
And the one thing I hate about horror movies is just the dumb mistakes people make. Like, oh, what's that noise? Everyone, let's split up. It's like, that's a genius idea, guys.
Yeah. Let's go investigate at night. Let's not go into the place during the day. Yeah.
Oh, this is a haunted manor where people have died recently. Yeah, we'll be all fine. But in video games, like if I make a mistake, one, it's the raw emotion of panic and fear versus watching somebody walk into a very obvious trap
and do something obviously stupid. Right.
Yeah.
Because
So
of course then there would be no movie. Right.
well, I understand a plot line, but at the same time, where it's like you see, this door kind of jiggle, and it's just like, don't go anywhere near that, and then they slowly walk over, and then it explodes and kills them. It's like,
yeah,
you knew it was going to be something, dude.
Right.
But
Exactly.
for me, because I don't like playing a lot of multiplayer, like just those like Call of Duty lobbies, and just going head to head to head. I like some kind of a challenge or a story or objective to what I'm doing.
Well,
So
it's almost like
to me, it's kind of like an interactive book.
oh, okay, yeah. That's well. I used to have those choose your own adventure story books. Where
Oh, dude.
and
My wife bought me the full set on eBay a few years ago.
Oh, really? Yeah,
I
and
love those things.
It's interactive,
It was
and
so
well, you
cool.
would.
Yeah.
I remember the one was the Cave of Time, and and you would go and be like, all right, you come up to two alleyways. Do you go to the left? And then if you go to the left, you got to go to page 63. So what you're doing is you're creating your own kind of adventure in a corny way. When you guys are playing this video, you're not just watching something that was already made and produced and done. So I get it. I don't trash people that watch that play video games. It's just never been for me. But I can see why they like it. You know what I mean? I'm not that
like
oblivious to the fun that people are having.
and like video games, like there's
tens of millions of people can't be fucking wrong about it. You know what I mean?
There you go, buddy.
There it is, the Cave of Time.
Yeah, part 1. This is the first one. This is the first book.
That's the first one I had.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Like
it's
when this is back when I was a kid, and I think it was NHL 09. I think was the game, and it's a hockey game, like kind of like Madden.
Belongs to Mark Heidemann. Sorry. Okay. This book belongs to Mark Heidemann, apparently. 655-7577.
If you owe any money to the library, you better he'll fucking find you. All right.
That's a $1 million fine right there.
yeah, exactly. So go ahead. Go ahead.
But it as I said, it's like Madden, but it's hockey. And I think it was Boxing Day. I was with my grandparents. We had a huge family get together, and they wanted to watch a hockey game. The hockey game got canceled, and everyone's grumbling. And I had an Xbox, and so I put on the Maple Leafs versus the old school Canadiens. So you're watching Domi versus Rocket Richard, just slugging it out about every 30 seconds on the ice. And mind you, the graphics were sorry?
They weren't that good, right? It wasn't as good as it is now, obviously.
Well, the graphics are it's not like what it is now, but at the same time, given the time, it's like people, the entire family came around and watched, because I could set it to realistic time and full penalties and all that. And it was before they got rid of that no fighting rule that ruined hockey.
Right.
Which that rule should only. Well, the no fighting rule should only exist in the Pee Wee leagues for the parents.
Yeah,
right.
Not for the kids.
Right, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I was doing. I was enjoying watching these guys. I was watching it like I was watching an actual sporting event, but I didn't care to play it. But that's what your family was doing.
Because they had no hockey and they wanted to watch, and I was like, well, I'll put this on, and it's a fantasy team against a team that is here that still exists now.
Right.
And when I was in high school, we used to do Nintendo tournaments with a game called Baseball Stars, because in Baseball Stars you can make your own players. Like now they have Create a Wrestler in all the WWE games. You could do that in this game, and you can make like 14 guys in the rotation or whatever, or 15, whatever it was, and we would just make each other. And we'd fucking do tournaments for money. Like Friday nights, we would go to Kevin Batista's house up on the fucking. Well, I don't live in that town anymore, but
I got kicked out of a tournament for that, Joey.
We would just fucking do tournaments for money. It was great.
You got kicked out of a tournament for that?
Well, because what I figured out, and I know very little about baseball, but what I do know is that the shorter the player, the smaller that the pitch box is.
Strike zone, the pitch box. I never heard
The
of
strike
that.
zone, yeah. So all of my players were just midgets, and no one could get a hit in.
That's pretty smart,
great.
actually.
That's fucking genius. Yeah, can you make my team look like a bunch of third graders? That would be fantastic. But with huge cocks. Make sure they got big cocks. I mean, we don't want baby dicks in there, but we want them to look like third graders. That's fucking great, man. That's funny. This is cool, man.
Yeah.
What did you call the pitch box? Yeah, I like that phrase. I'm gonna use
the
that
pitch box. I like that totally. Shit, what do we got? Wow, dude. You know what? For a fucking show that we didn't have Kenny come on, we did an hour. We did an hour and 25 fucking standing on our head.
Yeah.
It's fucking cake.
I would love some cake.
Yeah, so yes, of course. I'm gonna fucking go get something to eat.
Well, I didn't eat today, so.
Aku, man. I appreciate you coming on, dude. It's kind of fun to meet you guys, and we got to see what you looked like for a second, and just to kind of get to know the person a little bit behind the screen.
A white guy with a beard. What a stretch. I couldn't figure that out.
Fucking Canada.
Who shaves his head.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's a lot of
he's bundled up and he's got a beard and shaved head and a fucking knit cap. Fucking
so he looks like
Canada.
he's from fucking New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's it, man. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
My wife wants to watch.
I have to go to the bathroom.
My wife wants to watch the what is it? The Righteous Gemstones. Righteous Gemstones. We call it the Fabulous. It's a funny show. It's the same.
I know
dude
what it is.
from Eastbound and Down. I call it the Fabulous Thunderbirds because I can never say the fucking name of it correctly. So I'm like, are we watching the Fabulous Thunderbirds? She's like, you mean the Righteous Gemstones? I'm like, whatever. I can't fucking remember the name of the goddamn show. Well, listen, I am going to say that unlike our government, I am reaching out an olive branch to our Canadian brethren up there north. America's lovely fucking cap. That's what I call Canada. America's lovely cap. And but yeah, dude, hopefully we can have you come on again, man. I want to get what the fuck was that?
As I said, it never it brings me no end of joy, even just sitting in the chat there, handing out one-liners or stumping some stupid joke.
You got to find a place where you can
crack up. It's just like,
so you can actually be on camera and shit and hang out with us.
Well, that might also be another a bit of a problem is my work schedule. Because I actually work 2 jobs, and the second one occasionally becomes a full-time job right after working a full-time job. And I'll post a picture in the Discord for you. I already put it in. I think it was Replayables on Saturday. I think it was that I fell out of the back of basically a gravel truck.
Oh, nice.
Sorry.
Thanks, Johnny.
Oh.
Yeah, my
off of that.
I gave the ground the people's elbow.
Oh my god! Nice. Oh my god! That must have, as you Canadians might say, that might have smarted a little, eh? That might have smarted a little.
Oh, she heard a wee boot.
I'll tell you one quick story. We went up to Montreal to do comedy back in like 2010. And we were there for the weekend. And it was me and my pal James and Otto from Otto and George. And I remember we went to a Legs and Eggs thing in the morning. And that's basically like a place you go have breakfast, but it's like where strippers like serve you. And the only thing I remember, and I remember saying it, I don't remember I don't remember. I would never know her face if I saw it, but I just remember they were like, I told my friend when I came back, I told him, I said, yeah, we went to this place called Legs and Eggs where you can get served by like strippers early in the morning for breakfast. They were like, was she good looking? I said, she looked like John McCain. And my friends were like, all right, well then how long did you tip her well? I'm like, I just tipped her to keep her away from me. They looked like they were strippers that worked the night before and went right from the strip club right to the restaurant to serve you eggs while they're wearing like fucking bikinis, and it was just not good. But that was the one thing I remember about Canada.
To be fair, Conti, there's very few women who can make a C-section scar look sexy. All right, just really, remember that.
Yeah. Unless they can make it like a really cool tattoo. You know what I mean?
My favorite part of Canada is the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. I love that place.
What is
it
called?
Know if it's still around. The Keg. Well, it's steakhouse, but they say steakhouse, so it's the Keg Steakhouse and Bar.
Steakhouse and Bar. Where's it? In Toronto or Ontario?
One I went to was in Niagara Falls, actually, the Canada side. But I don't even know if it still exists, but it's a great place. Great fucking steakhouse.
Very cool. Aku, man, I tell you, man, we love your shit in the chat, dude, and we love incorporating you guys into the chat because you guys are funny. And
I don't now that Aku has the guest info, he can basically click in at any time.
Right? Yeah. Right. Just
I will keep that in mind, but expect me to come in yelling at Kenny.
Yes, exactly. You get Kenny all fired up. Yes. This is great, man. Aku, it was great to meet you, man. You know what? Let's. I want to start doing this more often. You know, even when Kenny's here. You know what I mean? We'll get some of these guys to come on for a few minutes. You know, because
I honestly, I'd love to come on. Like, this is fun.
Yeah, this is great, man. This is a lot of fun, and Kenny is a lot of fun too. And you would have a good time with him, obviously, because Kenny's a fucking maniac. So, all right. Well, you know what? If you want to just hang while we do our outro shit, you want to throw on our music, Shawnee, and let's see. And that, of course, the music you're going to hear is Swamp of the Universe. That is my cousin, Tony Parisi. He's T Parisi on YouTube. And who can we thank? First of all, I want to thank Aku for coming on, man.
And Kenny for not
doing
coming.
A great job. Fucking filling in for Kenny, yeah. All you have to do
Kenny
now
for not
is
showing up tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna thank Kenny for not showing up tonight because his computer, he's got like a fucking bedrock.
Should we give a knowledge to Smith and Wesson, or are we going too far?
You know what? Let's just see how he does after 2 weeks not doing the show. Let's see if he ends up blowing his brains out or not, or shooting his family,
or shooting his laptop.
He was so angry.
Or the neighborhood.
Oh my God, or the neighborhood. He was so pissed at everything within his.
Well, I don't know what YouTube is going to let us get away with. That's why I'm not saying much.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying not to.
It's all right, YouTube. It was loaded with crayons. He's fine.
Yes, he's fine. It was a fake gun. It was like red or green or something. Yeah. But of course, thank you to Shawnee, our producer, and everybody in the chat room. All you guys who listen, email us, and oh, Shawnee, what is the phone number for people who want to leave us a voicemail? Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
We got to keep that on. Yep. 572.
Yeah, we should leave that on through the entire show.
Leave it on through the whole show. 572-888-6116. If you're an old-time listener, you know, if you listen to us in podcast and you just found us or whatever, you know, you could call us, leave a voicemail, and tell us that we suck. I just want to hear from people that we don't get to hear from. And don't forget to give the episode, if you're listening on YouTube, to give it a quick like, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. And don't forget, we have our Facebook page, Instagram. I think we're going to have a TikTok. And my social media is at Joe Conti with an E comic. Joey is Real Joey Image. And Aku, do you have a social media to want to plug?
You can find me on most platforms just as Aku Mugen. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Awesome. And we end every show the same exact way. Our pal, the late, great Otto Peterson, would always say goodbye, and that is take care.